The rugby changed so much here in France that every week in, week out, you cannot be the same.
Oh, yes, that's interesting.
You have to have a big squad.
And this week, is there already a buzz in the door? Is there a set of supporters?
Dis aan die brand, meneer.
Hey Ruckers, I was right here waiting for you. Welcome to episode 97 in the building, okay? Behind the Ruck is supported by Supersport Bet, okay? The one and only Supersport Bet. And by now you know who I am. I'm Juan de Jong. And next to me is the one and only
Ruckers is the short guy, back and alive. Happy to be here with you with another exciting episode. This week, it's episode 97, okay? I don't know what time you're watching, where you are, but guys, we talk rugby, we celebrate rugby, and this episode will be nothing short of that yet again.
Yeah. Especially leading up to the rugby that happened. Obviously, you are sheets, the final boykies, and also the final coming up in Investec Champions Cup. But yeah, partner, everything all good your side?
I think if we can't say it's all good, Pari, but we're going to treat it in the most respect that we can, Ruckers. After losing our friend, we did a tribute video that is on our YouTube channel for the marvelous, the entertainer, the flamboyant Cornal Hendricks, our friend, our former teammate. So please go check it out, guys. We did a separate tribute where we just spoke about him. That is on our YouTube channel. If you guys missed it, click, there'll be something up here somewhere. Yeah. Click that and go check it out.
Yeah, especially the old episodes as well. But what a week. Obviously, condolences to his family, the Hendricks family as well. But what the world have shown throughout this week, I mean, not only in South Africa, but overseas as well, what the Bulls have done. You know, the Sharks have done with Eben and the jerseys. It just shows what is done, especially for world rugby. Obviously, we got into it this week, but fantastic to see. And yes, we're going to miss him a lot.
Definitely. He also spoke about how much he loved the show. So we're going to treat it in that way, Pari.
Yeah.
He always had a smile on his face. And let's do the same.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
But Ruckers, what can we expect on episode 97? Okay, we will be talking to one of Worcester's very own. Worcester prodigy, son of Worcester, Heini Adams, former scrum half of the Wellington Bulls, is currently the assistant coach of Union Bordeaux-Bègles. They are playing in the Investec Champions Cup Final. So we're talking directly with a coach that will be in the final this upcoming weekend. That is why we are your number one rugby podcast, okay? After that party, we'll get into the results of the last weekend of the URC. Obviously, looking ahead at the fixtures, there's two exciting games that's coming up, two finals that's coming up, Ruckers. And then obviously always our bounce player of the week. We'll announce it between the DHL Stormers and the Vodacom Bulls, okay? Guys, just sit back with us and have a brilliant episode with one of South African and one of the Western Cape's prodigies. Legends.
Just as someone you looked up to, especially in your position.
Definitely.
Nines. He wasn't so irritated like someone I know.
No, he was. I played my very first game against him as a senior pro back in 2010. And he gave me a hard time.
Excited to catch up with him, eh? Let's get there. Up next,
Heini Adams. Ruckers, today we are very excited for our guest. I made my very first senior professional game. I played against him. He's currently the assistant coach for the team that's playing in the Investec Champions Cup Final. He represented the Bulls. He made the final pass to Brian Abana for the Vodacom Bulls' first Super Rugby winning trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back for the man that hails from Worcester, Heini Adams. Welcome to the number one rugby podcast.
Hello the boys. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, but it's lekker to see you, especially in those colors as well, because usually we see him in a different one of blue colors. How's things that side, especially in France?
No, Bordeaux colors is all about the wine. About the wine. So that's why we Bordeaux.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and we speak about the Sharks, hey, Tim. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. You still miss a bit of South Africa. How's life treating you that side, especially with the family as well?
No, always. You know, Hoodie, you were here in France. You understand? You always have that family that you miss. You can't go every week in, week out when you have an off day just around the corner to the family. So that's one thing that you miss. I must also how can you say the relationship for my kids with their cousins and that it's a bit difficult, but yeah, after 15 years here,
Phew. Yes.
it's actually good because I've met a lot of people and making a lot of friends,
Yeah.
so it's all right. It's all right.
Family setting in as well. And you spoke about the kids being in comfort zone and your wife is one, Lynn. But I saw, follow him on Instagram, Dane is he a Springbok in the making or French in the making? What's happening?
No, they are. I think for them to always support first the South African side is important because where they come from is really important for me. But yeah, we're trying to do something great for Dane and Nicolas.
Yeah.
So hopefully they say they want to play for UBB first and then for the Springboks.
Nice.
So hopefully it will come true in the future.
And Heini, when last have you been to Worcester? When last have you visited home, knowing that you've been 15 years now in Bordeaux?
Poland kid.
I was actually in 2021. I was back home, just for I think 2-3 weeks, because it was the marriage of my brother. So I went back just for the marriage and that. And after since I've never been home again.
No, the sun is shining this side, yeah, and it looks like weather's looking good that side as well. But Heini as well, talk to us through. Obviously, you said you settled in 15 years in France. You did the transition into the coaching. What are you covering and what are you looking after at UBB? Is it Union Bordeaux Bagel? Bagler.
Bagler. Niet bagels.
Okay, sorry.
Union Bordeaux Bagel.
There we go.
Now, Jean, I think at first, I'm the skills coach for the senior side. So mostly in the assistant role where my responsibility is to look after all the skill set of all the boys. It depends on attack or on defense. So every week we get all the sub principles that you have to do in that certain position. So that's my job. After that, I'm also doing with Noel the attack of the club. So it goes from seniors to the academy sides. I'm also a pathway coach for the club and for the friends academy.
Yes.
And then I'm head coach of the academy here in Bordeaux. As they call it, the Espoirs.
Yes.
Espoirs is between 18 years and 23 years old. So yes, I'm the tech coach, the head coach, as they say. And that's my role. At my club.
Looking at what's happening, it's a brilliant job he's doing.
I was just about to say, and I was wondering, partner, listening to Heini speaking, Meneer, when do you have time off?
Never. I'm lucky I'm married with Lynn because she comes from a rugby culture family. So she does have a lot of patience with the job. So I actually don't have time off 7 days in a row. It depends on if the senior side is playing the Sunday. I work on a Sunday. If the under 21 side is playing or the academy side is playing on the Saturday, I'm with the academy side. And during the week, I'm with both teams and also the Friends Academy. So there's no time.
No time to Netflix.
Netflix and chill.
Netflix now.
And Heidi, for you as well, me and Paige spoke about it. The growth in French rugby has been unbelievable. And you can see it in the way Toulouse play, the way you guys play. Our top 14 is like, what if you fell there with the support off the field, but also on the field as well, the way you guys are playing and the type of tries you're scoring and how successful you guys are when it comes to Six Nations and these type of things?
Jean, I think when I arrived here in 2010 after the Super Rugby final against you guys at in Soweto.
Don't bring it up, man.
Sorry about that. So yeah, but when I arrived here, it wasn't that massive. I think when I arrived here, Bordeaux was in the Pro Leader. They weren't. They just came up from the Federal One back in the days. So it wasn't that big. But as I played, if you see how the people love the game here in France is amazing. I think we did come, when I started, we had probably 2,000 people at the stadium here at Moga where we train. But now we are the club with the most supporters in Europe. Every weekend, say for instance against Cars this weekend, it was the 16th time that it was a sold out. 16 times in a row, it was sellout. So it shows the brand of rugby that Bodo is playing. It's more an entertaining game. Because if you have these big cities and they want entertainment, it's not about to be a stood fast supporter, but it's more about the spectacle of the game. So ever since I did arrive here, we try to get that in the way we play, giving the ball some air, run a lot, and I think that is how our president structured his team. His first team or his pro side to entertain the people outside the club.
And Heini, talking about 2010, when you first got to Bordeaux, did you think you and your family is going to stay there for 15 years?
No, Rudy, like I said, when I was at the Bulls, you understand, I've played 6 years, like you guys know. In that squad, we won 2-3 times the Super Rugby title. We've won. When I was there, I was 2 times. I've won the Currie Cup, and then I went with one overseas with a box and that. So no, I did say to my wife, listen, I need something else. Maybe 2 years, then we were going to come back and that. But unfortunately, maybe I've done something right here, and they kept me for this long year at the club.
And what makes Bordeaux for you and your family so amazing? Your kids growing up there, your wife is happy. You just said you haven't been to South Africa in 3 years. Wat maak Bordeaux so spesiaal? Die dorpie en dan die klub vir julle, en hoe dit die Adams family fit?
Adams family.
Now, Rudy, I think when I was in South Africa, you have that certain ups and downs, where you come from, it's a bit difficult, and all the situations sometimes in the environment that you play or where you live. So I wanted to change. And when I arrived here, like I said, Bordeaux was in a Podida. I arrived here with a bit of experience, helping the club, and because of what I've done on the field, people were respecting me for that.
Yes.
It's not about, like I said, not about the color or what, but it's the way you play and the way you respect the people here in Bordeaux. And I think I've done my bit for 6 years. I've played over 127 games for Bordeaux.
Yes.
Won the Pro Leader. We won the season match against Gloucester, going up to the back in the days was the Heineken Cup. So we've done that. So you understand when you're in France, the people respect you for what you can do.
Yes.
And that for me was important. I think the first 2 years was tough. As soon as we went up, I had a few offers to go outside Bordeaux, but I think the respect that I had for my president, I think at this moment he's the best president in the top 14 or in France, yeah. So it's just how the guy is. Humanly, he's amazing, and he makes you feel at home. And the people here, you understand if you walk. I'm 15 years now here. I've finished playing rugby, but the people always respect you for what you have done back in the day. So that's amazing, and I think what I've done on the field, that did give a platform for my wife and my kids.
I mean, if you give the effort, if you give the love, you sometimes get the love back, and it's amazing to see. And I mean, it's a special week, especially for you, the club as well. Massive Investec Champions Cup Final. We spoke about the Heineken Cup as well. Talk us through Principality in Wales this weekend. What is the planning like? What is the prep like?
I was wondering if he's there already.
Yes, what's going on?
No, we started with the preparation today because we played against Castor on Saturday. So we didn't want to get too quickly into the final. So we've started actually today preparing. Have a few meetings this morning. How the week is gonna plan out. What the boys is gonna do. What are we looking at? Looking at a few clubs of the Quins. Of Northampton. So yeah, we know what to do. We have 2 days to train. So actually today is more recovery, getting the boys back into shape for the weekend, and then 2 days training here only in the mornings, and then fly out to Wales on Thursday. But as I look at the boys, they're really calm.
Yeah.
I think the experience that we had about last year, because we took a hiding against Toulouse in the top 14 final last year. So I think the boys is more in a state where, yes, we were there last year in the final, but we want to do better. So they're more focused on their roles for the weekend. So I'm excited. I'm excited because I spoke to Mathieu Jalibert a bit, and he said to me, "Do you know what the nicest thing is? It's going to be dry. It's going to be dry because we're going to have the roof. So maybe it's going to be an exciting game this weekend to watch."
I don't doubt it will be exciting. Because the skills coach and the assistant coach is one of the best nines clearing a base when I was around as a youngster. Okay? Maar Heini, for you in your new role, you a coach now no longer player. In a week like this, are you still hands-on? Do you take a back seat where the players drive the team, especially in a big final like this?
And all these internationals, there's a lot of senior players as well. Do they take charge? Yeah,
No, I think what you actually want for the players to take charge of their roles, of what they have to do in the side. My job is more to go and take a look maybe where the dangers is coming. So, for instance, Rudy, if I'm training tomorrow morning, I'm coming in, say for instance at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock coming in, preparing the session for the number 9s for 8:30. So I have to give them something where they can beat Northampton at ruck time, for instance. Say for instance, Pollock is a ball player. Yeah. He likes to steal balls. So how am I going to get my number 9 quickly at the ruck?
Yes.
And getting the ball as quickly as possible out of the ruck. So that is my goal a bit for this weekend. And then in the technical side, you have Max Luku, the captain, the number 9.
Yes.
I think at this moment he's the best number 9 in the world. I think that. I think we have the best number 10 in the world at this moment. So yeah, the boys know what they do, because if you look at our backline, you only have the French backline. So they know what they want to do, and you can't put them under pressure, because you're gonna mess up. I think you're gonna mess up them. But keep them calm and they play there with their talent.
Yeah, the threats, especially from the Saints as well. I mean, these boys came off a massive win against Leinster. They've got guys that the squad was announced for the British and Irish Lions. Yeah. These guys in up and high. If you look at those four, Henry Pollock you've mentioned, but also like Finn Smith, how you can stop him and a couple of other boys. Trocchi, Augustus, Safa is there as well. The expectations, I mean, for you boys, them, is it about, do you guys focus on them, or is it about what you boys can bring?
No, our focus is always about our rugby. Our rugby is playing with the ball, running a lot. If you have Mathieu Jalibert at number 10, most of the time you're going to run. Most of the time you're going to run because he's a player that can create something from nothing. Then you're going to have your strength in the middle with Joram Mofana. I think then Nicolas de Porter, and that, for instance, then you have Juan Janssen van Rensburg also. So you have big players in the middle also, and then you have your big finishers. Then you have your big finishers, Damien Penaud, and then you have Louis Bielbarré. You understand? So it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be an amazing day. It's gonna be lovely to watch because it's going to be attractive rugby. The both sides, both sides, because we know the Saints also love to run the ball.
Partner, isn't it great to see his smile on his face? He speaks with excitement. It's not just words. You can see it in Heini's body language that it's a big final. It's a European final.
The last time he was so excited when he played with me back in the day.
But Heini, for me, the interesting part that I'm thinking, if I sit here, Paisy, I played in France, I understand how they think, but I also know how we grew up. Very conservative, where throwing the ball around wasn't something that our coaches installed in us, preached to us. How have you managed that part of your coaching? That way you grew up in a very maul dominant, set piece dominant, kick to suffocate mindset of our coaches. Now you are coaching the French way. You speak French fluently. They come alive when they have no pressure and you give them freedom. How have you managed that part of the rugby, especially at Bordeaux?
No, I think, Rudy, I think we never play the same way. We never play the same way. It's all about what you see in front of you. Say, for instance, you played at Clermont. Clermont is a rude, tough side from the mountains and that. So you're gonna have to play a different style. Where you're gonna have to lose, they're gonna run a lot, but they're strong up front. How are you gonna play against them? This week you're gonna play against Northampton. They runs also with the ball, but they're also physical and dominant at ruck time. So we have to go and take a look at what we can do better, or where we can get weak spots in their defenses and everything. So we never play where I come from. The Bulls did have one style. We're gonna kill you up front, like you say. We put you under pressure with the high balls and that. Where here in Bordeaux, I think the rugby changed so much here in France that every week in, week out, you cannot be the same. You cannot be the same. You have to change. You have to think outside the box. You have to bring in new plays. You have to take out certain guys, their strong points, or you're gonna attack their strong points, or a lot of details like that, or split the seconds. How they're gonna foul in 5 seconds or 10 seconds or that. So every week in, week out, you play against a different game. Your game plan needs to change. Your players need to understand what you want to achieve, or what's their role in the plan. So no, we don't have one style of playing. We can adapt for any team and for any type of weather.
Yeah.
And this week, is there already a buzz in the door? Is there? Can you guys feel that it's European final, flags around the Centerville? Is there a set of supporters?
That's Annie Brandt, meneer. That's Annie Brandt. Bordeaux is Annie Brandt, meneer. Now, so all of in the say, for instance, in the city in Bordeaux, we had a big lander. So they're gonna put on this massive screen there. So it takes, I think they said, between 20 and 30,000 people. Yes. So it's gonna be full house. There's people that going on planes, people going on boats even, because it's a historical day for our club.
Yeah.
So our job is to go there and giving a great performance, not just for us, but for the people of Bordeaux that supported us for all these years now.
Yeah, because being in Wales is actually a Saints home game if you look at it. Actually, they're like an hour or so away, and you guys are playing away from home. And I want to know, actually, is the focus, so you guys are only focusing on this week, but obviously you got your top 14 as well, and to lose one set of events, what happened in the semi-final, is there idea as well, or is it just, hey, let's get through this?
Johan, at this stage, you understand, if you're in the rugby profession, you have to understand that, especially in the top 14 in Europe rugby, I think the South African teams is now adapting towards that, that you have to have a big squad. You have to have a big squad. So if you're gonna have a big squad, so you can go on that 2 waves of this week we have a Champions Cup Final. Next week we have Toulon because we and Toulon are in the race to play for the second for the second spot.
Yes,
so if
home
you finish second, you're going straight into the semi-final. But if you finish third, fourth, you're playing a playoff, and that's last year. That is the game. I think that makes us a bit tired because the season is automatically longer with one game. So this year we've taken note about it, so we can play around with a side that's going to play this week in the final, and then a side that's focusing on the top 14.
Very interesting, yeah.
Yes,
Because you guys played not the senior players, but pretty much the guys that are going to play this week, and you played last weekend against Cast as well. I mean, Jellybeard played, Louis Belliberry played.
Because say for instance, they were off the week before. So they were off the week before, but because you're going to play the final this week, you need them to get in minutes in the leg. So that's why they played also.
And Heini coaching those superstars you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Jellybeard, Luca, who I am absolutely in love with. Or most of French scrum halves I love. Luca, Jellybeard, Mufana, Pino, Ruan. What is it like for you every day spending time with that high quality elite rugby players? And how do they see the game? Because they are currently the trendsetters in rugby at the moment.
No, I think for me it's always nice to see, like I said, when you're a coach, you understand you want the best for your players. You want them to excel. So, for instance, I've coached Matthew Jalibert when I started coaching him because I'm in the pathway and the skills coach here at UBB. So I know Matt. I started coaching him when he was 14 years old. Joram Afana, I started coaching him when he was 17 years old. Louis Bielbarre when he was 17 years old. So I've known that youngsters that is actually now our number one players at the club that came through all the development of our club. So they know what to do. They know because they love this club so much. But for me, it's just amazing, Rudy. It shows that I think at this stage we're doing a job well at the club. I think about our development. I think all the factors that's around of building a great club, building a club that wants to be number one in Europe. So for me, it's always nice to be around people at first, and then the players. So they know what they need to do. You're not gonna. I can't at this moment tell Matthew Jalibert what to do. I can't tell Max Luku what to do because it's an automatic thing for them. This time now around is for them just to say we want to win the Champions Cup. We want a trophy. So if they're gonna be in that mindset, Rudy, I think it will be done. Last year was the first time for them. This year, I think they have the quality to do that. So like you say, you're gonna have a Jalibert, you're gonna have Max Luku, that's the leader. He's the ultimate leader. Your two finishers, like I said, they call him the TGV. Soos hulle hom sê, Rudy, die vanaand trein, die snelle trein van France. So there's Louis Bielbarre, and then you guys know about what Damien Penaud can do. He can do something from nothing. You played with him, Rudy. You played with him, so you know him.
A fantastic personality in the change room.
Amazing. That's the one thing. There's the one thing that we always want in our locker room is that everyone needs to be happy.
Yes.
We don't love or we don't need negative stuff in our locker because everyone is here for the same goal, for the same reason. I think that's why I'm here 15 years. That's why I'm here 15 years because of what the environment can give you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you spoke about Matthew Jalibert. Eh? You can't tell him what to do, but he's bringing up the tea, okay, at every kick, okay? What do you tell the man? Is it just keeping quiet, give the tea, or is it
No, it's just to keep him in the game. It's sometimes where Mathieu is a guy that can also quickly do his thing that the team doesn't need him to do. So you have to get him to keep him in that zone, in that role. Now I've like I said, I've known Mathieu Jalibert when he was a little guy. So I think also with the respect between me and him, it goes a long way. Max Luku, I found Max Luku at Biarritz, bringing him here to UBB. But for me to bring on the tee, I think to giving them give the instructions about what the staff want of them. They see a familiar face. They see a face that did play rugby, a face that loves the club to the utmost. I think to that comes respect. You understand? So yeah, I think for me being there, I think it gives them also it puts them also on a good wicket.
For the people out there as well that doesn't know Jalibert, and you've worked with him for a very long time. Obviously, there was an incident in the Six Nations in France who was mentioned on the bench and picked on the bench. And then that incident, can you give a little bit of feedback of what type of player he is, what type of mindset he is?
Juan, you know you were also a player. Rudy, you were also a player. Unhappy. You get sometimes where the papers and people who's talking the papers, they just don't wanna say something. I think Matthew, he went through a period where people didn't want him in the French side.
Okay.
Because he's in contention with Roman Intermark.
Intermark, yes.
So you have to lose. Then you have Bordeaux people. Then you have people where all around in France where they want Roman, and they said Mathieu Jalibert, hey, everyone does have their way of doing things. I can't be the same person like Juan de Jong or Rudy Pate. I'm Heini Adams. Mathieu Jalibert, he does have his way, his personality, and we can't take that away. And I think people did saw something else. They wanted to bring Mathieu Jalibert down. But at this moment, if you look at the game against Toulouse, you did only see Mathieu Jalibert. You didn't see Roman Intermark. So where Mathieu is now, the stuff that he went through did make him stronger. You understand? So he's so mature now. He's so mature now that he can do anything on the field. And the players, when he talks, the players follow that guy. Doesn't matter where he goes, they will follow him. So the thing was, it was hard for especially for me as a coach to read the stuff that was written about him. But like I said also to the people back home, my family and that, when my brother, when they called me, what's going on with Matt? I said, listen, leave that. Matt is on a good wicket. He's good. He's going to play for the club, but he will be back and he will show the people. So look what is he doing. He's playing fantastic rugby at this moment.
Hy moet dit warmer as 'n Sondag in somer in Woester in choir loop.
Dis nice, hè?
Maar Heini, kom ons praat. I really want to talk about you born in Woester, went to Esalen Park, represented the Eagles. That's the first time I saw you play rugby. I was at Otaniqua. You played for the Eagles, then went to the Bulls. If you look back at your playing career, how satisfied are you with what you've done, with where you come from?
I think really, I've always said, you know, when I was at school, my wife is still laughing about it. I had a teacher, an English teacher. And this other day, a friend of mine is an engineer, I think somewhere here in Europe. And he sent me a message and he's like, yo, Heini, look where you are now. I'm like, why is he saying that? And then after he responded, because the English teacher said to me, I'm going to get an H in my schoolwork. So because I'm always on the rugby field. And so I said to him, listen, people can't determine where you're going to be. It's only you who can determine where you want to be. So I had this teacher. On the other hand, I had this teacher, Mr. Thomas van Wey. He passed away last year, and I was devastated not to be there. but to come back to the point is where I come from. When my friends, I had a group of friends in Worcester who took me, because I've played every single age group in the Boland, Rudy. Every single age group in the Boland. Until 20 when I was under 21, when Johan Lerm went to the Eagles.
Yes.
I've went play. Alan Senden phoned me. I need to come and play with the seven side at Drakenstein back in the days. I said, okay, I'm not working. I don't have a job, so I can go and play. So we've played against SWD, Western Province, and then we had a side of Paul True back in the days. So we've played, and then Johan Lerm was there, and he said to me, I want you to come for a trial run for 3 weeks in SWD. So I didn't have a job when I went to SWD. But the biggest thing that happened to me is when my friends put me down, Rudy, they take me to George, and they said to me, Heini, you don't look back. And I've never, ever looked back. So I've played 2 years with the Eagles. We qualified for the Currie Cup, winning Boland to go up to the Currie Cup.
Yeah, and they qualified now as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, and congratulations. Like I sent to Denver also a message to say congratulations. And then I went to the Bulls. 6 years at the Bulls, playing SAA, playing emergency Springboks. Everything that a kid dreamt about, you understand? And for me, rugby was always a tool to change my life and to change my family's life. And that for me is the most important. I said yes, maybe at a stage you finish with a game and that, but to see my kids excel here in France is amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing. So the rugby, it coached me about life. You go through ups and downs. At the Bulls, I've won everything. I've broke my leg before the World Cup, 2006. But after that, come back, winning the Super Rugby 3 times. Do you understand? Getting Springbok. All that played a role in rugby. Rugby is it's a learning school for me. Every time I always. My kids that like Dane is playing rugby. This other guy is in school. He does have the difficulties and that. Then I go back to rugby. Look at the line out. If you're not on time, they're gonna steal a ball or that. So all the things that rugby gives me, you understand, is more the human side of things, and that's what I love about the game.
Yeah, yes. But rugby does teach you a lot. That is discipline, commitment, leadership, etc., etc., etc. But for you as well, and you said looking forward. I mean, 2009 when you made the move to Bordeaux, do you think still it was the right decision? Obviously, spending 2 caps with the Springboks at the time, in contention, maybe a little bit with the midweek team and those type of things.
Look, Jean, I've played with the best teams at the Bulls. I've played with the Boks. Like I said, to change from the Bulls was tough because you're coming from a championship side. Back in the days, I think it was Frans Ludeker. I think Fourie de Prier, when I left, just before I left, Fourie de Prier he went to Japan. We went to Japan, and I was thinking, okay, now it's my turn to be number 1 at the Bulls. And after that, I had a meeting with Frans, and Frans said to me, "Listen, Heini, we're gonna push Frans Hougaard."
Yes.
And I said to Frans, I'm 6 years here, I've won everything. Flipping is my time, and he said, "No, we're gonna push Hougie and that." And then I said, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna go through that role again." All the respect for Fourie, the best number 9. How can I say the best number 9 in the country and in the world? So I had respect for that, you understand. But when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't, the honesty wasn't there. And I think that was also one of the reasons that I left the Bulls for Bordeaux, and Bordeaux was in, like I said, in a totally different, smaller division, but I left.
Yeah, sometimes you have to go where you need it, man.
Where you want it.
100%.
I think if that is, I wish I also when I ook maar my ding, you want to play where you want it and where people value your
Feel
opinion, where they treat you really well. I think that's where any player wants that type of feeling.
It's about where you belong, and I mean, you felt it for 15 years, so it's good to see in what space you're in.
But only before we say goodbye, okay, I've got a few quick fire questions for you.
Fire it up, man.
Paar vinnige vrae. As jy nie lank dinkie, ek wil iemand vinnig antwoord. Okay?
Kom ek dit af.
First one, best scrum half you played against. Played against.
Oof.
Did he play against you?
My eerste game.
Okay.
Best scrum half I played against, I think Morgan Parra.
Ooh, not bad. Yes, see. Best player that you played with in your career.
Mathieu Talibula.
Mathieu Talibula. Ek gaan hom Google. Okay. Most underrated player at Bordeaux.
Most underrated player at Bordeaux, Max Luku.
Maxime Luku. Okay. Wine of biltong. 'n Bordeaux blend of 'n lekker geskerfde biltong by die huis? Kies.
Biltong, meneer. Biltong.
Can't wait.
And one more, okay? Saints +5 or Bordeaux +5?
Bordeaux, meneer.
Put him on the spot here a little bit, yeah.
Lastly.
No, I don't want to get into that.
Can't the chickens do earlier?
If you had a magic wand and you could play the genie, there's a genie Will Smith, reg?
Okay.
Yes.
Besides Bordeaux, what would be the one team that you would one day love to coach?
Boland.
Okay, just see. Excellent. En my vraag is klaar, meneer.
Your piece of belonging is still with Boland.
I've always been fond of my province. I've loved my province. If not Boland, I want to go to SWD.
Asseblief, Heini.
Giving
Ons
back,
mense
ja.
was kort. Het
It's
gaat zwaar bereis.
It's about leaving something or giving back where you come from. Almost like a circle of life sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I've like you guys know, I've put my CV in for the Boland. I put it in. I didn't get it. But that's how life works. That's how life works. Boland he did qualify for the Currie Cup. That's beautiful. And then like I said, SWD will always be my second home. Always be my second home. It's where it all started. I love that people.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Boland is.
Come on,
I can't change for.
Yeah.
I love Pretoria also, but that's my two provinces is Boland and SWD.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And from our side, thank you very much for making the time. I know it's a crack of a week leading up to the final, and you're busy, and we stole your time a little bit. But you're doing fantastic work. What you've done, not only at Bordeaux, but as ambassador from South Africa, is amazing to see. And it's also nice to hear that you still have a soft spot for Boland. I mean, myself as well. That's looking after the juniors at Boland under 21 as well. It'd be nice to keep in touch. You know, you've got a nice little background in terms of pathway and getting the players and ideas and stuff like that. So I'll definitely make contact. Obviously, after you guys won the final in the parade and everything, but lekker to have you on the show. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
Ek hoop julle party lekker, meneer Heini Center de Wil. This upcoming Saturday. So alle sterkte met die final, Heini. En is 'n plesier om Bordeaux rugby te kyk. The way you guys play rugby is an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Ja.
Nee, baie dankie. Dankie weer eens. Ik kan nog een beetje Afrikaans praten. So. Nee, baie dankie weer eens. Thank you very much for the confidence. I think you guys are doing a great job. Getting people there, teaching our people of the game, teaching what we have to do to excel. So that's great. Hopefully, after Saturday, I can drink a beer out of the cup, and it will be, I think, a historical thing I think it will be also good for the people in the Boland in the SWD for where I come from, where it all started, and to say also thank you to them for the support and everything, and all the people that support me over the years in South Africa. I appreciate you.
Ja, we will support him 100%. Ja. Nee, ek kan Afrikaans praat, ek kan 'n bietjie Frans praat. Okay, au revoir, au revoir.
No.
Is dit au revoir?
Sol. Vat grond.
Finally teach me something. Heini, thank you very much. Yeah.
Voilà, merci beaucoup. À bientôt.
Ciao, monsieur.
Guys, that's Heini Adams. That was lekker. 15 years. Huh? Why were you not 15 years in Bordeaux? In France?
I don't think people loved me as much as they love Heini Adams, okay? That's the first point, buddy.
Yeah, piece of belonging everywhere. But it's incredible to see what he's done. I mean, he's not about stepping into fame or stepping into success. He made the success. He was part of it.
You know how cool it is when he spoke about the principles and the stuff rugby teaches us, like teach us or taught us, we done now, and how he uses that currently to teach his kids certain the disciplines. That is cool.
Yeah, but it's good to see everything is all good. I mean, his family looks settled in, happy. His boy is doing fantastic work, you know, the next generation.
I think there might just be a statue of Heini Adams somewhere in Bordeaux.
Is it?
Apparently the bird is tweet.
Yeah, he was. And if you think, have you played there? Have you seen?
Yes, I've had the privilege of playing. He was a coach, a Sunday night evening game, Bordeaux.
Yes, you must get that
Clermont.
footage. You walk like
That's fair.
500 meters or something. It's a 5-minute walk.
3 kilometers.
By the time you get there, you're tired actually. But yeah, it's fantastic to catch up with the big man. But let's get straight into it. Let's play the bounce. Okay, guys, this is made just for you by Brightrock, the associate sponsor of the Vodacom Bulls and the DHL Stormers. Cracker games, eh? Emotional, but cracker games. Let's go to the Vodacom Bulls.
Ruckus, and for me, my Vodacom Bulls bounce player of the week goes to a guy that hasn't played a game since January. And for me, and how we judge the bounce player has always been about certain moments and players using certain opportunities within a game. And I thought Namakaba, it hasn't played since January, being man of the match, had an excellent game, and that is how you use your opportunity.
Yes.
If someone gives you something, say gryp hom. Take 2 hands. So Namakaba, outstanding.
Yeah, Jackler all the way.
Bounce player of the week.
To see, And from the DHL Stormers is the one and only. It could have been anyone. Like every week, Suleiman Hartzenberg did it thing, Leoland Zas did it thing. But this week, he's back. He's back, baby. It's Manie Lebok. Incredible. Just to see his passing game into action again. I mean, there's long passes to Suleiman, inside ball to Zas to score the first try to get ourselves going. But most importantly, it looked like deja vu for me. On the left foot, over to Suleiman, and in the corner he goes. Fantastic to see Manie Lebok back and doing his strides.
And Ruckus, just so you know why we awarded these two players, because we know how difficult it is to play that manner, to play that good of a rugby game if you have not played rugby for that extensive time of period. And that's why they bounce players.
Bounce players of the week, indeed, yeah. Incredible time, and I mean, it's final. It's the final countdown. It's the last game. It's round 18 of the URC. Let's get to the fixtures. It was obviously Stormers 34-24 Cardiff on Friday, and then we had Bulls 55-15 to the Dragons. Lions, like the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals, 29-28, 1 point against Ospreys, and Sharks 12-3 against Cardiff.
The Lions are like, you know, when your car is at empty and you're not sure if there's enough in the reserve tank to get to the station. That is the Lions at the weekend. That was you, and they got there.
But it's a photo finish, man. I spoke about, you know, the photo finish is important, like stadio photo finish. Yes. But it's good to see a couple of the boys obviously saying goodbye. Marius, that's playing center, that's saying goodbye. Ethel van der Merwe moving to the Sharks. Incredible results. Obviously, when we started last season, the season before that, we wanted them in the Investec Champions Cup, obviously Challenge Cup again for next year.
But partner, I think the hard questions now needs to be started asking of the Lions. We've always given them grace that they're always building. They're always young. I think that time is finished now.
Yes.
Why are they not attracting Springboks? Why are they not signing big lucrative deals with players? It's the third season in a row they haven't qualified for top 8. So I think, is there maybe someone else in the coach, for a head coach that needs to step in and change the culture of the Lions? Because before that, they played 3 Super Rugby finals. Now it's been 3 years of not qualifying for top 8. And that's the harsh realities of a cutthroat industry.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a long season. They started like a house on fire. I mean, they probably had 4 and 5 out of 5. And in the middle of the season, it doesn't work. And at the end of the day, when it comes to, it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. And when they come to arrive, it doesn't make the top 8. So, like you said, maybe there is questions to ask. Were those senior players leaving as well, it's going to leave a massive hole in Lions rugby, and we'll have to see what's going on. Yeah, and then the Bulls. That is one game that was so special. It's good to see. Cornal playing for Cornal Hendricks, he had a massive part of that team. Looking back at the footage, looking what they've done throughout the week, looking at the 1 minute silence, the minute 14, all these type of things. It was just special to see how they played for them and put up 40-ish points.
No, extremely special what the Bulls and how they wanted to remember Corny. Look, I probably thought it must have been a really tough game for the boys to play with the emotional roller coaster that we've all been through this past week. The boys were very professional. They did an excellent job at securing 5 points, securing that second place on the lock, making sure we get a home semi-final. So a job well done for the light blue, the Vodacom Bulls. We don't have to get on planes.
Yeah.
We sleep at home. Okay?
Quarters,
ons eet ons eie
semis.
pap. Ons eet nie in die hotel nie. Ons eet by die huis.
Home sweet home, yeah.
Home sweet home.
That's fantastic, yeah. So the boys are looking good. They played some good rugby as well. I mean, they got on top of them all the time and just scored fantastic tries. But and then the Stormers, a bit of at some stages, but it's good to see that the Stormers is also, it's about picking up momentum, especially in the last stages of this competition. And us playing all the Wales teams, obviously at a massive, I don't know how we can place it, if we can take this confidence leading into the playoffs, but I mean, it's a good step just to get ourselves rolling.
Look, it's probably a false confidence for all the South African teams because the Welsh rugby currently, probably we know, is not the strongest it's been in the recent past. But I think for the Stormers and where Dobbo will be extremely happy is that all of his superstars is back.
They can pick and choose.
Gaza is dark in trouble. Gaza might be in trouble. He might not be, I don't know. Ruckus, as we're recording, the verdict on his red card is not out yet. I suspect he might be suspended for a week or two with that red card. So that is the doubt.
I think that's what Dobbo said. He kind of like, he's got 4 powerhouses. He likes to have 1 injured so the 3 of them can play. So maybe it's a good thing, you never know. But yeah, those boys are incredible. I mean, if there's place for everyone, it would be nice to see everyone. I mean, we speak about the current Springboks, but even Warwick Galand is in an incredible season, so he needs to be in there at number 15. But yeah, it's good to see that they're looking good and the boys are doing this thing. And Shasha Feinberg and Zulu is doing the sticks, and Manila Bok is back. Yeah, but
look, Ruckus, and for me watching this game, and I don't want to be long on the Stormers as we're looking ahead. It's at playoff time. But we need to appreciate the ability of Mani Lebok to create space and time for players around him. It's not something we value highly enough in South Africa. We always write about the boys scoring tries and chip kicking and doing the beautiful things that gets on Instagram. But if you look and you watch rugby, Mani Lebok is simply sensational at creating space and time for everyone around him.
Putting guys into space, finding the space where it's needed. But I mean, it's the beauty of the pass as well. It's accurate. It's on the chest.
Mani Lebok is hy nuwe tekkie in die winkel. Hy lyk nooit weer so mooi as hy met die huis daar in die winkel. Like a beautiful.
And left, right. I mean, you can put him under pressure on this side. He just says, hey, this side, let's get out of here. So it's fantastic to see that he's still in that incredible form. I mean, me personally, I think a break is pretty much good. If you look at the past 3 seasons, he's been playing week in and week out everywhere. Sometimes you need that mental shift as well, just to make sure that you're hungry enough to come back as well.
They like a break, ne?
Huh? It's important, especially here, because this game is all up here.
Juggle.
Just what?
Juggle.
Let's people that need to break your and the Sharkies.
Look, they got the win. Ruckus, we all know they probably say it themselves. It looked really tough. The conditions look tricky.
Greasy?
Look very greasy.
So you can't run.
Quick question for you, coaching-wise. Isn't it for them maybe, shouldn't they train at night? At least once a week?
Because it's always humid.
Yeah, because that's the conditions they play in and you train during the day. But the conditions is totally different. Because if I watch them, they don't look like they're a team that's accustomed to the greasiness. But it's their own.
Yeah.
They also make the same errors as the visiting team.
I mean, even in the day there as well, it's still greasy. If you look at where they train, I think it's 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever the case might be. Sometimes the ball is wet as well because it's humid overall.
No, man, it's like that dew and stuff on the field. It gets terrible.
Different greasiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about the way they play. I feel like it would be very one-dimensional. It's almost like You take it, fussy, it's a star. Let's see what you can do. It's just forwards, bring your forwards around the corner. It's the 9s and 10s. It feels like sometimes, are we playing this way, coming back? Where's the space? Where's the options? So it's tough to say we're judging him on one game. Yes, there's been very good glimpses when it comes to the whole season. But looking at this past weekend, there's a lot to look at. Is it the attack? Is it not functioning? What is it? Is it combinations? Because there's superstars everywhere. If you look at that names on that paper, okay, rugby isn't not played on the paper as well, but these are guys that when they come to the box, they need to spark it up. You don't want to say it's because of the form. Is it the way they're playing? Because it's still good players. I mean, even Itzebeth is an individual performance. It's still brilliant. That's why he was man of the match. And credit to Eben as well, just for that initiative with Cornal as well. That is special.
Excellent, Grote.
But yeah, hopefully with the week off, we all off for 1 week. No one is involved in what's coming up next. But then looking at in the quarterfinals, they've got a big one.
But this weekend, 2 big games coming, Boykie.
Yes, let's talk about
2 massive games.
Yes, in the Principality in Wales. Obviously, it's Friday, it's the Challenge Cup. It's Lyon versus Bath. And on Saturday, it's the big one. The big one, okay? Northampton Saints versus Bordeaux. Heini and the boys. First one, okay. We have to give credit where credit is due, especially to our Saffas. We got a piece of belong with Coach Johan van Graan. Incredible work. I probably thought they were going to struggle against Edinburgh. Then they showed me a thing or two. I mean, they're not sitting at the Premiership at the top of the lock with about 15, 16, 17 points difference, which means the quality they do have with Finn Russell doing the strings. Louis Gereder is as well.
Now you like Finn.
No,
okay.
Really. Yeah. But
okay.
We'll see where he filters in a couple of South Africans. It's just fantastic to see him. Is doing a fantastic job. Hopefully, we'll see what the results is because we got to suffer Arno also on the other side of Lyon.
The only thing for me this weekend, Ruckus, is how will the guys that have been selected for the British and Irish Lions,
will they be
what will their performance look like over the weekend? That's for both finals. The Challenge Cup and the Investec Champions Cup. Will they have the same intensity? Will they be, which is normal for any athlete? Are you protecting your own?
Yes.
As you behavior.
Yeah, because you know what's coming.
Yes.
You got to save yourself a little bit. And also, but also the catch-22 is they're out of the Gallagher Premiership. So they want to maybe give everything here because after that there's nothing else. So that's, are they saving themselves? Because there's 4 big dogs. If you look at the Henry Pollock, Finn, Tommy and even the 9 Mitchell as well. So.
No, look, I'm going to go with my predictions, Ruckus, this upcoming weekend. I'm going to go with Bordeaux Bagler in the big one.
Same boat.
I just think they've got too much firepower around the park. And what makes French teams different is they play consequence rugby each and every week. Consequential rugby each and every week. Every game that they play is some sort of consequence. Where we in the URC and the Gallagher Premiership, they don't have that. There's no promotion relegation. It's all safety nets. Hulle lekker seatbeltjies aan almal. So Bordeaux Bagler, Matthew Jelliber, Luca, those guys are going to be too good for Northampton Saints.
I agree, yeah. I think they've played their final against Leinster Saints. So I think Bordeaux will take this one.
I'm going to go Bordeaux by 12.
By 12, that's aggressive.
By 12.
I'm in there by 6. Okay, tight one.
Booster sê by 12.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to go for Bath, Van Russell.
I'm going to back you. I mean, it will be lekker for Coach Johan.
What is nou by Bath?
Yeah, just because, I mean...
Ruckus 2 weeks ago, he said Lyon. Hy moet hom aanvat.
But it's more Team Safa. Van Graan, Skrieder.
So, are you supporting Bath or are you calling Bath to win? Which one?
To win.
Okay, so rugby
supporting
prediction?
The Safas, yeah. I'm going to go with Bath, yeah.
Okay.
I would like to see, Johan van Graan, what he's done throughout the whole season. Gallagher Premiership, but also in the Challenge Cup as well to get the W and because it's just to show the quality of coach that he really is. I mean, he's maybe a candidate for 2028 when no one wants a job. Yeah, you never know the green and gold. Yeah, and other stuff. Super Rugby and stuff, happy days?
No, extremely. I love Super Rugby. Ruckus is my favorite competition. Don't judge me, okay? I can't help it. That's how I was raised. I was raised in Super Rugby. I watched Ardie Savea play one of the best rugby games that I've seen in a very long time. And he reminded us why he was World Rugby Player of the Year in 2023.
And there was a lot of daughters that say, Moana, his rugby's going to go downwards and stuff like that.
Knocks it down, is up,
it's
up.
And up the quality. I mean, one player can make a difference, especially just the belief installed in everyone there. Because you could see the the vibe after the game as well when they got that victory against the defending champions. It's always
the Blues, and it's
fun.
good to see Super Rugby, the stadium that was filled with supporters. They were very loud. The passion that was played within that game was for me simply
100%,
eye-catching.
yeah. And we'll have passion this weekend as well when it comes to Investec Champions Cup. But yeah, that's fantastic. Guys, you know, Behind the Ruck is supported by SuperSport Bet, the one and only SuperSport Bet. It's time to get your skin in the game, okay? If you haven't signed up, you got to make that switch. Switch it up, okay? To SuperSport Bet indeed, yeah.
And Ruckers, if this is the first time you're watching, if you guys can see behind my partner, we found it fitting that we put Cornal Hendricks' teams that he represented with pride and joy.
Yeah.
We put it up there as a remembrance of our dearest friend. And I also want to encourage you guys to smash the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys smash like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for joining the Behind the Ruck community. Number one Rugby podcast.
Indeed, yeah. Now fantastic times, partner.
I say,
love it, eh?
Chicken Rappy.
And that's me. I'm Juan de Jong.
I'm Rudy Pates.
And the Ruck is clear.
Next week, guys. Au revoir.